Good afternoon. Um, so I went to the school today for the assembly because Adrian got a Dominic Dolphin award. So he got an award for being brave and being more of an independent student, okay, because we were working on that. That's what they were working on. So both at home and at the school, and I guess he's doing a really good job. So he got an award. So I looked up the spiritual meaning for dolphin. It was the cutest thing. It was the cutest thing in the world. First, he was sitting with me, but then there was this baby beside me, and the baby kept trying to talk to him and touch him and kind of distract him. So he went back and sat with his class. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of him. He's grown so much since, like, even the beginning of the year of interacting with people. He's more of like not really that introvert, but just he likes to do things on his own, right? He'd much rather play on his own. He likes playing with kids, but not all the time. So it's cool to see him interacting with others. So it generally represents, dolphins generally represent peace and harmony. Okay, they're a very joyful being. Okay, they're very graceful and compassionate, intelligent, generous, and protective. Okay, so if you have anyone who has those attributes, maybe go ahead and pay it forward with a compliment or an act of kindness. Maybe you like the way that they are protective of the things that matter to them, that they are really generous with their time, money, or energy, right? Maybe they are intelligent, they give really great advice, and you just want to say thank you. Someone who's very compassionate and there for others, right? Maybe when nobody else is. Somebody who's graceful in what they do, how they act, how they operate in certain situations. Like maybe something that they do is like just a bit different, right? Has a more calm demeanor to it, graceful. Maybe they just light up a room. They're joyful, right? I was in that room full of kids and they're all like clapping to the beat of a song, right? There's nothing more joyful in like than a kid who's just jamming out. So maybe you want to give a thanks to your child, right? And yeah, there's only good that comes from that. Okay, so some messages are to listen with empathy. Listen with empathy. Like really just listen to understand, really hear them out. Like really listen, really feel what they're telling you. Okay, and when you do that, you'll know if it's true or not. Okay, not only to have empathy for the person, in doing so, you'll recognize, right? You'll learn what real feels like and what it doesn't feel like. Okay, even if that person's crying, it may not be real. Okay, but at least you know. And then if it is, and it was a mistake, we all make mistakes. That's how we learn. We fail and then we learn. Okay, and sometimes we fail that same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And then we finally do learn. Okay, when we're at our rock bottom, when we're down on our knees and we have to surrender. But I'll speak on that later. Listen with empathy. Okay, it doesn't mean you need to accept their behavior, but hear them out. Okay, and then make your decision after that once you get into a centered place without that person around. Okay, don't make any decisions while that person's still in your presence, because that could be manipulation. Ask for some time to yourself. Ask for a moment to think. Say that you need to think on it for a while alone. Okay, And that way that they can't manipulate your energy when you're making decisions. And then you're also calm, okay, because you're with self. And this also like expresses, this also is like leading by example. If you have kids, right, then they'll know to do that as well. Ask for some time and be by themselves and figure it out. Make decisions in that space of peace, in order to have harmony in their life, in order to really know what they want and really know what's right for them. But also like using emotions to gauge that. Doesn't mean you need to accept their behavior, but at least see where they're coming from. Okay, there's many lessons. There could be many lessons in one scenario. My jaw just cracked really hardcore. There could be more than one lesson in a scenario, right? There could be every lesson in one scenario if your eyes and your ears are open to receive. But it's hard when there's something like predominant that needs to be addressed. Then address that one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. Then it won't be so overwhelming. That's why it's so good to journal, because you could like look at it from many perspectives. But if you get that urgent feeling, okay, I feel it in my lower back usually, but that's where I like, or like in my chest, right, is where I feel my stress. But it's different for everybody. You could get headaches, you could get like, it's usually chest and back, but wherever you get that stress, that's the one that needs to be addressed, okay? Okay, so listen with empathy. What was I gonna say? Empathy. Listen with empathy, okay? And if ultimately you don't accept that behavior, you should respond anyways, okay? If it's not with forgiveness, it should always be with forgiveness, okay? But if it's with forgiveness and you guys are moving on, you guys have come to an agreement, it's either you come to an agreement and you forgive the person, or you forgive the person, you're not coming to an agreement and you need to set that boundary, okay? It's either like you're going to be a part of my life or you're not. And that boundary needs to be set. But that behavior, right? If you accept them back, you're accepting that behavior on an energetic level. Okay? And if it's not from that person, it'll be from the next person, because you didn't set that boundary. And then you practice that boundary. And you get good at practicing that boundary. And now you won't accept anything like that energetically, okay? So it's really important to set these boundaries. Not only for like your own stress level, but like energetically that won't be allowed around you. Because people will know that you don't take that shit, okay? The universe knows too. Okay, so protect yourself. That's how you protect yourself. Boundaries. But also have compassionate, because you're learning many lessons out of one scenario, right? These people know that you're generous. These people know that you're intelligent, that you gave them good advice. People know that you brought joy to their life. They know that you're graceful through all the bullshit that you put them through. And that you will have peace and harmony, because you do protect your energy and you don't accept that type of behavior. Okay, synchronicities. Someone could be seeing a lot of synchronicities lately. Synchronicities could be angel numbers like 222, 556, 777, right? Little things like that. Or like this feeling of like things just falling into place at a rapid pace, okay? Like, I've made this decision to accept that I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to put everything in the hand of the Creator. Okay, because I trust that He knows best. Okay, and I'm going to surrender all my problems. And even in doing that, like that is alignment. When my thoughts are matching up with my words and matching up with my intent, because I'm literally having those things that are bothering me leave my body, and I'm surrendering them, and I'm not taking any of that stress on anymore. Okay, so my tongue is powerful too, right? If I have this intent, I have this thought, it's coming out of my mouth. I'm literally at in every aspect, I'm vibrating on that level, okay, of acceptance, of alignment, of surrender. Okay, things fall into place rapidly, like do. I don't know how I can see it. It's just like it's like fucking Tetris. Hyperspeed. Okay, things fall into place rapid. Rapid. I'm hearing rampant, but I don't know what that means. Rampant. Okay, so that shows like that it was really just a battle with self, right? And that surrender was a battle with self. It was a battle of finding peace within self. It was a battle. It was very much an inside job, okay? An inside battle of just holding on to something, whether it be a resentment, a shitty attitude, whatever it was for you, right? Something that you really had to surrender, whether it was being obsessed with a behavior, or being obsessed with other people, or being obsessed with what other people got, okay? Or being obsessed with what you don't have, right? Some sort of battle that was going on within, that was allowing you to cause chaos around you, okay? And you can't expect to like have a bunch of peace inside, peace and harmony, when you create battles around you. It just doesn't work like that. You have to be peaceful inside first. You have to be respectful to self first in order to get that respect from the outside, any sort of respect, right? If I don't respect myself, nobody's going to. If I don't protect myself, nobody's going to. If I'm not generous to myself, nobody's going to. If I'm not compassionate with self, okay, then I'm probably not going to get through it. If I'm not graceful, okay, and a lot of times I'm not, I have to ask, like, God, please help me with your grace, okay? Please give me some grace. And then I'm graceful beyond my means, beyond my knowing, okay? Please give me joy. And then my kids say something that makes me laugh, like gut-wrenching laughing, like joyful, okay? Or if I'm not knowing, like show me something that'll make me know. And then I got shown something. And that just comes with being comfortable with talking to your higher power, right? If you think of it, you could just be talking to yourself, like self-talk. Like, I need to know this. And then your higher self is like, will let you know that. And you'll just know. Just get comfortable with like speaking to something that you can't see with your eyes, right? Something that knows and wants good for all, okay? Like knows God's will. Just start. Okay, I remember when I first started praying, I thought it was weird because of the feeling. But everything feels weird when you're just starting out. Right? You weren't born walking. No, you practiced. You weren't born talking, you practiced. Right? Same thing goes with this relationship. You got to practice. And pray for his will. Don't pray for like specific things because you really don't know. You don't. So that's one thing I never did because I learned that early. So I never really did ever pray for anything. Sometimes I pray for karmic justice, but that's also things that I don't know. It's pretty vague. So once you surrender this battle with self, this internal battle, what the spiritual meaning of the dolphin is unity and cooperation, okay, with all the dolphins. Okay, so this to me is like the collective. This to me is like unity and cooperation with the Most High. Okay, so that's what I got from the dolphin. That is what I got from the dolphin. Okay, I'm going to do silent. I'm hearing silent but deadly. Silent but deadly. Be kind. Be kind. I'm getting like somebody, you were really kind to somebody and somebody really wasn't. So I don't know if they said that they were going to say something to you. And they didn't. They fell short of that. Let's see. Yeah, they were very unloyal. Very unloyal. Blessed in the reverse. Coward in the reverse. So someone's silent because you were very kind to them and they tried to ruin your blessings. They called you unloyal and that wasn't true. Okay, you were the only loyal person in their life. Shameless. They were unloyal and shameless. Ooh, I'm getting like a huge cheater. A huge cheater. Okay? They'd cheat with anything. Okay? Anyone. Any sex. Okay? Worker in the reverse. Man, woman, trans, I'm hearing. Anything. They'd sleep with anything. Ancestors in the reverse. So somebody's ancestors, because you were so kind to someone. Because you were so kind to someone, okay? The contract in the ethers, I've explained this before. The contract in the ethers, your ancestors and their ancestors had a deal that you guys would both break these generational curses together, and whatever you would do together in this like this contract, this spiritual contract, okay? And you honored your part, okay? And this person didn't. This person didn't. And like shamelessly didn't, okay? So because of that in the ethers, somebody's ancestors has to protect you as well. So not only your ancestors, but their ancestors. Okay, so somebody has like a lot of ancestors protecting them. Not only their own, but also the people that betrayed them, that were unloyal to them. That failed to see how blessed they were. That cowardly, shamelessly followed somebody else. And didn't hold any sort of, I'm getting remorse. They never had any empathy. So somebody's ancestors are no longer really helping them in this situation. You're going to have to move on. Like you already played that. You already played that role. It wasn't an accident. Okay, you did this over and over and over and over and over. Bad business. You manipulated someone with extraordinary love who is always kind to you. Okay, always wanted to work together. Teamwork. Always wanted you to win. Was very faithful to you. Okay? And you put this person in debt. Very unloyal. Wow. And this person had faith throughout it all. Everything you put this person through, every single thing you put this person through, they kept this faith, and you were unloyal. Someone could be getting fired here, or they're no longer a worker within this like faulty business. It was no accident. It was planned, like shamelessly planned. Because this person had faith in self, okay? They weren't going to let you walk all over them. And I'm getting like you walked all over a lot of men and a lot of women in your life. And you got away with it. Or at least you thought you did. Okay? Up until you met someone like this. With extraordinary love. Okay? Great compassion and spiritual strength. Because of all the good decisions that they make in life. Without, like, this person is not judgmental. This person is like very accepting. Very accepting. And you know it. Otherwise you would have given it up by now. Whew, someone needs to surrender. Like big time. Big time surrender. Like denial. Okay, you put this person through hell, and they were like, I don't even understand how you're even a part of this person's life anymore, because it feels like you're not. It feels like you're not. It's like someone just really holding on to and clinging to something that's been over. There's just this idea of, I don't know what the fuck the idea is, but it's been over. 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's a great loss. It's a great loss. It's time to move on with your life. Somebody might be ready to deal with their losses, but they don't know how to speak up, because what do you say, really? What do you say when you, like, pissed in someone's face, you know? And laughed about it. Like, with these past people, you made a mockery out of this person, or at least you tried. Okay, but there's a certain amount of respect that these people have. Like, they'll go along with you, but they're not going to tell you what they're really thinking. They'll just gas you up so that you further fuck yourself over. They actually respect this person you're talking shit about. Okay? They do. They're not going to tell you that because they know that you're obsessed, but these people of the past would, even if they had a chance to shoot their shot, they would. Okay, because they're willing to grow and learn, and you're not. Okay, they're like, man, I would have been willing to learn with and grow with that person. That person seems so innocent and intuitive and creative, but they won't tell you that because you host this devil ass energy. Maybe I'll pull some tarot on these. Someone's trying to like cooperate and like gather up a community or something in order to like wave a white flag. It seems like manipulation though. Yeah, it seems like manipulation. Somebody could have forged someone's signature, lied on a being of light. Wow. Somebody lied on a being of light in order to get their finances, their financial independence. Somebody might be ready to deal with this. Somebody got an entire community to attack someone based on like they forged that, man. That's how they got those finances. This is a masculine. A masculine forged a document. Now they're feeling at a loss. It's like a wannabe businessman. They never made that money. And that's why they're obsessed with this woman, because they forged something. They're a fucking con artist. Ay, what the fuck? Somebody wants to be a love option here. Past people think that you were their soulmate, but a soulmate is somebody who teaches you a lesson in life, okay? You don't end up there. You can have many soulmates in your lifetime. If it was a connection that you felt deeply, but it taught you something, okay? That was for your own growth, okay? It doesn't mean that that's the person you're supposed to be with forever. It usually isn't. Okay, it's just it's a deep connection that teaches us something. It could teach us many somethings if we just maybe get a journal and write out all the things. If we write out an instance, you can like split it in a lot of ways of what was going on at the time. I'll show you. I started taking the old route in my mental space until I took a deep breath and I called Brenda. Okay? I was about to be argumentative. Okay? In not a good sense, when there was no argument to be had. Okay? So no reason, right? I need to respect the fact that my parents are on their own journey, okay, with their own lessons, okay? This was my expectation of how parents should be. I need to wipe those out, okay? And leave them where they're at. Wrap them in a blanket of love within my mind's eye and let it be. I feel like I really need to purge something out. I feel an X energy again. Okay. I feel a little bit triggered. I don't know whether or not to isolate. So I bring my higher power with me here now. Feel it. Let it go. So if you write something out, it's easier to apply something, right? It's easy. You can read it as if it's not you. Okay? I kept this skill of observing. I'm not going to let go of that. Okay? But the part where I'm judgmental, that's what I'm going to let go of. I'm going to not be judgmental of what I observe. But I'm going to keep this skill. of being observant. Okay? Little things like that, you'll figure it out. You will. You just gotta write it down, meditate on it, think about it, think of the outside perspective. Like, I know it might seem weird, okay? Do it. You'll only benefit. Someone's in anxiety because you're passionate and other people are passionate towards you. People learn from you, okay? And they feel like they shit the bed when it came to having that to themselves, okay? And like, not to themselves, but that's how they wanted it. All to themselves, but they lied and they were unloyal and they could have many lovers of the past and they could be promiscuous and have you crying in bed at night. Like, what the fuck? Somebody needs to like heal and be alone. Like, go be by yourself for once. Go be by yourself for once. Be okay with that sense of self. Be your own compassionate, like, be your own compassion, be your own protector, be your own, because your true love's not going to come in until you do. It's just not. And sometimes people don't have that ever. There's a lot of people who hardly ever, never have their true love come in because they failed to ever part with the person that they decide to stick with in fear of being alone. So they just ignored it. They ignored the call. They ignored their intuition. And they're just going to live out this life with this partner that's really just a soulmate, not their true love. Okay? So I'm going to read a Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and then I'm going to go because I can hear the school bus. And I already pre-made his after-school snack, so I just got to put it in the microwave. So we'll do this quick. Be willing to learn from friends and family. Angel number 69. Oh, shit, that's funny. One of the saddest observations I've made centers around how reluctant many of us are to learn from the people closest to us. Our parents, our spouses, our children, and friends. Rather than being open to learning, we close ourselves off out of embarrassment, fear, stubbornness, or pride. Okay, or like competition, right? It's almost as if I gotta go unlock the door. Okay. It's almost as if we say to ourselves, I've already learned all that I can, or all that I want to learn from this person. There's nothing else I can or need to learn. It's sad, because often the people closest to us know us the best. They're sometimes able to see ways in which we're acting in a self-defeating manner and can offer very simple solutions. If we're too proud or stubborn to learn, we lose out on some wonderful, simple ways to improve our lives. I've tried to remain open to the suggestion of my friends and family. In fact, I've gone so far as to ask certain members of my family and a few of my friends, what are some of my blind spots? Not only does this make the person you're asking feel wanted and special, but you end up getting some terrific advice, such as a simple shortcut for growth. Yet almost no one uses it. All it takes is a little courage and humility, and the ability to let go of your ego. This is especially true if you're in the habit of ignoring suggestions, taking them as criticism, or tuning out certain members of your family. And that's not saying like if you've had to, like we get that, okay? You had to. Imagine how shocked they would be when you ask them sincerely for their advice. Pick something that, and some people give bad advice on purpose, right? So even if you were to ask them for advice and you know that they give you bad advice, that's a good way to understand their stance on you, right? I do that all the time. Like, thank you. Okay, thank you for showing me your stance. All the time. Okay? Pick something that you feel the person whom you're asking is qualified to answer. For example, I often ask my father for advice on business. Even if he happens to give me a bit of a lecture, it's well worth it. The advice he gives usually prevents me from having to learn something the hard way. Yes, angel number 69, angel number 169. Be happy where you are. Sadly, many of us continuously postpone our happiness indefinitely. It's not that we consciously set out to do so, but we keep convincing ourselves, someday I'll be happy. We tell ourselves that we'll be happy when our bills are paid, when we get out of school, when we get our first job or a promotion. We convince ourselves that life will be better after we get married, have a baby, then another, right? It's kind of delusional how far some people take it, okay? When we're frustrated that the kids aren't old enough. How I kind of like, I never really got frustrated at that. How I see it is like, I'm only going to have a few baby years. I'm only going to have a few toddler years. I'm only going to have a few big kid years. So like, I'm just going to really, really, really bask in it, right? Embrace it. Because I'm only going to have a few years of them. If that helps. We'll be more content when they are. After that, we're frustrated that we have teenagers to deal with. We'll certainly be happy when they're out of that stage. We'll tell ourselves that our life will be complete when our spouse gets his or her act together. When we get a nicer car, are able to go on a nice vacation, and when we retire. And on and on and on and on. Meanwhile, life keeps moving forward. The truth is, there's no better time to be happy than right now. If not now, when? Your life will always be filled with challenges. It's best to admit this to yourself and decide to be happy anyway. Okay, make the best of everything. One of my favorite quotes is from Alfred de Souza. He said, "For a long time it had seemed to me that life was about to begin, real life. But there's always some obstacle in the way, something to be got through first, some unfinished business, time still to be served, a debt to be paid. Then life would begin." At last it dawned on me that these obstacles were my life. This perspective has helped me to see that there's no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Wow. So maybe you are the misery. I know that I certainly was. Anyway, good luck with the unity, right? Good luck to all of the collective and everyone. Finding that peace and harmony within, okay? Have a good day, people. I'll see you tomorrow.